Hi, I'm Rory Pilachowski, and this is the 60 on the 95, the latest Israel news for Teen Israel advocates. In our first story, we'll look at talks given by President Obama and Prime Minister Netanyahu at the Saban Forum, a conference that took place this weekend, where world leaders and scholars deliver speeches about the issues currently facing the Middle East. Both President Obama and Prime Minister Netanyahu spoke about their very different views on Iran and the current deal. President Obama spoke about how he will not allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon or get close to having one, but how unrealistic it is to assume that the world can dictate terms to Iran about their nuclear power. President Obama said they don't trust Iran, and they see it as a country involved in some of the worst evil going on today, but a country that they must work with. The world is trying to get the best deal that they can, the president explained. Prime Minister Netanyahu reiterated how evil the Iranian regime is, how the world cannot allow itself to be fooled by men that speak English and wear modern suits. He briefly mentioned how careful the West must be not to get tricked into a bad deal with Iran. Our second story goes back to the peace process between Israel and the Palestinians. After a visit by Secretary Kerry at the end of the week to Israel, in which he presented another peace plan from America, a plan that was quickly rejected by the Palestinians, the peace process was a hot topic this weekend in Israel. Two cabinet members spoke about the process, and their views are extremely different. Amid claims by other ministers that Israeli-Palestinian peace talks had no chance of succeeding, Finance Minister Yair Lapid, here shown on the left, insisted Sunday that he would not let the naysayers within the coalition derail the peace effort. Speaking at a high-level Tel Aviv business conference Sunday, Lapid warned that the failure of the talks posed a threat to Israel's economic stability, and said he would go as far as advocating remaking the coalition to keep the negotiations moving forward, a jab at his one-time ally, Jewish Home Party chief Naftali Bennett, shown here on the right. Economy and Trade Minister Naftali Bennett sounded a decisively pessimistic tone on the peace talks Sunday morning. "I'm for an agreement," he told Israel Radio from Australia, where he is on an official visit, "but a real one that doesn't harm our interests." "Maybe I missed the news in Hamas and Gaza, that Hamas and Gaza recognized Israel and stopped firing rockets," he added sarcastically. "Peace talks that did not include the leaders of Gaza were a joke," Bennett insisted. He compared a final peace agreement to a car. "Imagine," the Minister Bennett said, "you're negotiating over a car with someone who only owns half the car, and the owner of the other half says he won't recognize any agreement that you reach. You give him all the money, but you only get half the car." That's how the Minister Bennett sees the peace process now without Hamas. Our third story focuses on Iran and the peace process combined. Speaking at the Saban Forum, Prime Minister Netanyahu linked the peace process with Iran, a comment that drew criticism from America's ambassador to Israel, Dan Shapiro, pictured here. Netanyahu said, "Our best efforts to reach Palestinian-Israeli peace will come to nothing if Iran succeeds in building atomic bombs. A nuclear-armed Iran would give even greater backing to the radical and terrorist elements in the region. It would undermine the chances at arriving at a negotiated peace," Netanyahu warned. While the ambassador, in response, said the United States does not see a connection between Iran's disputed nuclear program and the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian negotiations. That's what U.S. Ambassador to Israel Dan Shapiro told Army Radio on Monday. "There's no connection between these two issues," Shapiro said, in contradiction to these remarks made by Prime Minister Netanyahu that nuclear Iran would harm any future peace agreement with the Palestinians. "Both of these issues are connected to the security of Israel, and also to our security," meaning the United States security and the entire Middle East, Shapiro said. But he added that we do not see some kind of relation between them to which we request to give to one and receive from another. What's ironic is that it was President Obama in a speech to the United Nations this year who first linked Iran to the peace process, and this is what he said: "While these issues are not the cause of all the region's problems, they have been a major source of instability far too long, and resolving them," meaning the issues of Iran and its nuclear weapons, "can help serve as a foundation for a broader peace." The significance of this debate is clear. While Prime Minister Netanyahu is stating that solving Iran will get to the Palestinians, it seems that President Obama wants Israel to work on both simultaneously. We'll see how it works out in the future. That's been today's 60 on the 95, the latest Israel news for Teen Israel advocates. We hope you'll tune in tomorrow and the next time. Shalom.